Hi, I'm Maree, and I want to welcome you to the rollout of Advancement Navigator. How this all came to be was I had been involved with this app before. It's a CRM, which means Customer Relationship Management tool. And it really did well for me where I was before. And it really helped me to just make everything simple and be able to just get everyone signed up, just like clockwork, like babysitting. So we're going to go through and share a little bit about it with you, do a demonstration, get you hyped up. Without further ado, what I would like to do now is hand the mic over to Patrick Shaw. Patrick Shaw is the CEO of a company that many of you have already heard of called RapidFunnel, because RapidFunnel is one of the #1 apps used with all the large network marketing companies. So Patrick, you have done so well with this company, and I know it's grown globally, and you've got, I think, 50 plus employees. And so he is so charismatic. Take it away, Patrick.
Dawn, it's great to be with you and excited to be with everybody on the call. This is my favorite part of the entire business and this SaaS world that I'm in, is these launch calls, because this is about you guys getting traction and exploding your recruiting and sales. So I personally spent, 25 years in the networking industry, and building can be a lot of fun. When you see people on your team making more money, having success, when the business is simple. And that's what we're going to talk about, ways that you can augment the natural things that should be happening in your business. You can speed up people's level of success, right? That's exciting. And so that's why I have so much fun on these calls. I'm going to pull up my screen here, and I'm going to set just a little bit of a foundation before we jump in. I need about 10 minutes to lay some groundwork. I'm going to tell you how to download the app, which will be exciting. And you can start to do that while we're going through how specific features are going to work. So we're going to move very, very quickly. And here's what's most important for you guys to understand why this is going to speed up you building the business so much. And let me tell you a little backstory. I've been in the industry 25 years. And when I got started, this will date me, Dawn, but I had a fax machine, a phone, a VHS tape, and a meeting to go to. There was nothing else. I didn't have to worry about any other tools. People would join our business and they said, well, what do I do? And which one do I do first? I was like, it doesn't matter. You can invite them to a presentation, have coffee with them. You can call them, you can fax them, or you can give them this tape. That's it. And then this world of technology, the digital world, started to come upon us in every aspect of our lives that we live in today. And it became complicated. One guy was over there doing surveys, and surveys can be so powerful. A really well-written survey. But what am I going to tell people to go sign up for SurveyMonkey? And then they need to write a really great survey. And maybe you can hire a specialist to teach you how to write a survey. And then you should have an email list, so you can email all the people that you've prospected your entire career. And you could join Constant Contact. And I think it's $50 or $100 a month. You should have capture pages. You should have a beautiful landing page that your video is hosted on, that has your name, your phone number, and your email, and you should know how many minutes your prospect watches that video. And oh, by the way, now obviously I'm being somewhat facetious here, okay? Because this isn't practical. How are you going to tell your team, go sign up for SurveyMonkey, Constant Contact, ClickFunnels to have capture pages? You need a hosting site for videos, because Lord knows you don't want your videos on YouTube, because YouTube is stealing all the data from the prospects that you put on those videos, and then they're cross-selling them other opportunities or investments or whatever. So you don't want to do that. So what is the solution? This is the complicated nature when the digital world came about. So what you're going to see this evening is an answer, a solution to this problem. The fundamentals of network marketing have not changed. Guys, they're the same 100 years ago as they are today, and they will be 100 years from now. Networking is about simplicity. It's about duplication. It's about the relationship. It's about authenticity. It's about me connecting with you as a human being. That's all the stuff on the left side. Those are the fundamentals. On the right side is this new digital world that makes it very complicated and difficult to create speed and momentum and duplication. What if I told you we could bridge this gap? What if I told you in one single platform, you could have surveys, capture pages, email campaigns. You can have all the data and analytics about all of your activity, that you own all of the data, that Dawn will never see. I won't see the name of your prospects, emails, phone numbers, and notes. That's all your information. And you can go build a massive database, have all the tools under one umbrella, the tools that Dawn and the team have already built for you. They worked with us and created the email campaigns, the capture pages, the surveys, everything you need, and it's all personalized to you, and it's all under one umbrella. Well, what do you have to help your team do? Download an app. It takes 2 or 3 minutes, and start doing what? Prospecting and follow-up. That's what you want your team to focus on. I do want to mention it to you. For those of you who are out there, you're hungry, you're motivated, you're like, man, I don't want to just sell and recruit. I want to build a team. I want to get that to duplicate and build a large organization. There's a book out there called The 4 Disciplines of Execution. It's one of the single best business books you will ever read. As a matter of fact, it's the #1 best-selling business book in the world. And the 4 disciplines are simple. Number 1 is you and everybody you work with should have a wildly important goal. Some reason that you're here, and it can be different for different people. But you should tap into that with your team and find out what is their wildly important goal. And then once you find it, discipline number 2 is focus on the lead measure. The thing that is in each and every person's control that they can manage every day. They can't manage the number of people they recruit. They can't manage how much business or what the price point is. They can't manage those things. What they can manage is their personal activity. Prospecting and follow-up is the lead measure. 95% of the people that have a challenge building the business simply aren't talking to enough people, or they're not following up effectively enough. By the end of tonight's call, I promise you this, there will be zero excuse for anybody on your team not to double their activity level. They will talk to more people and they will follow up more effectively. Number 3 is you should have a scorecard. You should have a simple way that anybody that comes to you on the team, if I come to Dawn and she recruits me and I'm telling her how hard I'm working and how great the business is, and I'm just going to crush it. And then 2 weeks later, I come back and I say, Dawn, I've been in the business a month. It's just not working. I don't think people understand crypto. I don't think they're looking for an opportunity. I don't think this app thing you told me about, I don't think it works either. And Dawn says, well, no worries, Patrick. Let me take a look at your scorecard. And if Dawn could literally look at my scorecard and she could know the exact number of people I've talked to, and she knew the exact number of follow-ups I made, and she knew if the people I was talking to were actually engaging in the information, do you think Dawn could effectively coach me? Sure she could, right? Because I might be that person that says all these things to Dawn about it not working, and she looks at my scorecard and goes, well, Patrick, I just noticed you've talked to 2 people so far the entire month, and it's the end of the month. Now, what's my problem? My problem is the same problem that 95% of the people have who don't have success. They just don't talk to enough folks. We're going to solve that, and we're going to give you a tool that you can effectively lead. And the 4th discipline is if you can do these first 3, then you can accomplish in your organization what we call a cadence of accountability. You can build a team, a beautiful team that's hungry to help each other, that's supportive, that is transparent, and they're all focused on what? People's wildly important goals, scorecards, and lead measures. Hey, let's talk to more people. Hey, how many people did you talk to today? And all of a sudden on the social media platforms and on the team calls, we're talking about the number of exposures. What you're going to see is the biggest producers are the ones that have the team that talks to the most people and follows up most effectively. Does all that make sense so far? Right? Let us know. Type in the chat box. It's pretty simple. And we're not going to change what you currently do. We're just going to speed it up. I'd encourage you, if you're saying, hey, I want to do more than just maybe recruit a little bit and make a little money, I want to really go build something big, then that book is probably for you. Here are the tools of a digital marketer. Now understand, we're not digital marketers. You don't want to be a digital marketer. You need a team of 5 or 10 people. You need to spend $2,000 or $3,000 a month, and it won't duplicate. Because all these digital tools, it's a one-to-many approach. It's great for the Kardashians, right? It's great for a business selling to the consumer. We do some of this as a big business trying to sell to companies. It's not what you want to do. This is a model you want to participate in, where Dawn and the team, we're over here on the left side of the equation. We're over here on the right side of the equation. We partnered up and we built all the tools for you. And then we push it into an app that you're going to be able to download tonight. And there's a premium and a standard free version. So, on one side, I want to let you know, for you to get all these kind of tools in the traditional world, you would literally spend $1,000 to $2,000 a month, all separate platforms, wouldn't duplicate, and you would spend another $10,000 or $15,000 to create all the resources that have already been built for you. And it's all inside of an app. Okay, so we'll talk about that. Your team will be able to download it and they'll focus on the lead measure. This isn't as important. We call it authentic sharing technology. It's the first technology in history built for exactly what you do. And my background doesn't matter much, but I'll just tell you, I had a 500,000 recruits over 20 years, made more millions than I counted anymore, right? I quit counting at that level and did really, really well. But I got frustrated that there were no tools built to solve this problem. And now you've got the best tool, bar none. And on one side, while we love automation, the digital toolbox, machine learning, AI, data, complexity, all of that, in your business, what's most important is authenticity. It's duplication, simplicity, right? And the value, the right of each individual to own their own data. That should be really important to you. So we are going to go directly to the app now, which is beautiful. And every button on the screen here is active. Okay. And I want to give you a little bit of a tour of the home screen first. And then shortly after this, I'll share how you can download it. And then we'll get into some specifics of prospecting. Okay. So contacts exposed up here in the top left-hand corner. If I click that button, contacts exposed, I'm going to see all my contacts in the app. So I just have a bunch of demo contacts in the app here, all the way down to Spider-Man. And you can see at the toggle bar up here at the top, I can click on who my hottest prospects are, because there's an algorithm in the app that not only allows you to rate your prospects 1 to 5 stars, but there's an algorithm that, based on the activities that your prospects take, are they watching videos? Did they fill out a survey? Did they opt into an email campaign? Did they opt out of an email campaign? You can see their activity log. So if I click on this particular prospect, right here, Daniel, and I click on activity log down at the bottom, I can see every action this prospect has taken, how many minutes of a video they watched, what event they were invited to, etc. All right. Now, let me go back to the home screen. You see that number 10? That number 10 is the number of exposures I've made. So that is the number of unique prospects that I have sent information to. And the number below it, the engaged number. These are two very important numbers I'd like you to understand. The number below it, engaged, is how many of those prospects literally had to engage in information. Did they click on a link? Did they fill out a survey, opt into an email campaign? They had to take an option. If I had sent information to 10 different unique prospects and none of them clicked on anything, that number, that engaged number would be 0. So wouldn't you like to know not only what your prospects engaged in, but when they engaged and often how much of something they might have watched, as an example? Now I can see that number this month and I can see it for this week. So in the demo app, we put them all in this week. So there's 10 and 10 engaged. That means my stats, you see that number that says 100%? What if I click on stats? If I click on stats, I can see all my stats here. Resources open, total engagement, etc. What if I click on the resource button itself? Well, right there, if I click on resources, all my resources are right here inside the app. I have my own digital business card. I think we can agree the day of the paper business card is kind of dead. But wouldn't it be nice if I bump into somebody, I can literally click on my card and boom, my digital business card pops up. It's got my picture. The prospect I send it to can save my information to their phone. It's got my phone number, my email address. I can even choose to have buttons so it can go directly to wherever I want it to go, whether that's an article or a website or what have you, right on my digital business card. So you'll see there's a number of resources. Now, I'm not going to cover these yet, but if I click on opportunity, I have a female voice on the opportunity side. If I click the plus button, it opens up peak, present, follow up, and enroll. All the tools that I need to pique somebody's interest are right there, but you can send them via any way that you want: text, email, any social platform. If I click on a resource, social, boom, all the social platforms I use, and obviously my prospect would need to use it for me to send it via that channel, but it's all right there and it's all trackable. Let's go down to email campaigns. You have one really powerful email campaign. It's called the Opportunity Campaign. And in the Opportunity Campaign right now, you already have 387 days that somebody will receive information directly from you to them. You can see a simple, this is the opt-in email. It'll put their name in there automatically. Hey, thanks for the chance to stay in touch. Click here to confirm your email, and then I'll send you the opportunity info right over. Okay, so there is the home screen, and you can see what all the buttons do. I can click the more button in the bottom right, and there's a whole another set of statistics, event calendar, coaching that is built in. Now, what I want to do is I want to pause here for a minute, and I'm going to show you how you can download the app and what your options are. And then we're going to come back and we're going to show you exactly how you can prospect, how you can make an exposure and use the platform to build a bigger business. Here's what I'd like to ask you. And I kind of mentioned it before. I want you to think about this. If you were to go out and you were to have to pay for ClickFunnels $300 a month because you need capture pages, and we have gorgeous capture pages built out for you. And I'll show those to you in a little bit, where the video that Dawn has put together with our team, that video gives you, they're incredible videos. It's already in your personalized landing page that you can send prospects, and all the data is trackable and it all comes directly back to you. We have surveys that you can post on social that will generate leads. The very first company we ever launched a survey with, in the first 2 weeks, it was an insurance company. And I'm not knocking insurance, but that is boring. We sent this boring insurance survey, and that survey got sent 14,000 times, just over 14,000 times in 2 weeks by this organization. And then 12,000 people clicked on it. And then 8,000 people filled out the survey. 60% of the 8,000 people were brand new prospects, meaning that it generated a push notification to the app user that sent the survey that said, you have a new prospect in the app. Now, when I got this data back from our development team, I said, no, that's not possible. Look, I've been around a long time. There's no way they sent 14,000 surveys and 12,000 people clicked on it. That many people don't click on stuff. And you're not going to get 8,000 people to fill out 14,000. What I didn't understand is the survey was being posted to social. And every time it was sent, some people didn't click on it, but then somebody else would get 10 clicks. And they'd get 5 people to completely fill the thing out. And that generated 8,000 new prospects. You can take this survey, you can post it to social with some comment. Hey, who'd be willing to help me out? I'm doing some market research on the crypto landscape. I'd love to get your feedback. And if you'll fill out the survey for me, I'll send you some extra information you'll be excited about. You can send something like that. And then you all of a sudden you get people filling it out. How powerful would that be if the survey were already written for you? Okay, so that's what we're talking about. And what would you have to spend on all these different platforms? Well, you'd spend a lot. Let's just go there. So here's a much better option. First, 14 days. There's 2 options. There's a free standard version. I'm going to tell you how to download the app right now. There's a free standard version, but you need to know about this. A free standard version that but it costs you $1 to trial. And you will get 14 days of the premium version of the app. You'll get 14 days completely free. Now, right from the app, if you decide within that 14 days, you say, hey, you know what? I don't want to pay for the premium version. You can go to settings in the app, the more button, settings, billing, and you can say, no, I don't want to pay for the premium version. And right there from the app, you can downgrade to the standard free. Okay? You can do that at any time. It's all month to month. There's no contract. If you choose to do that, you're going to get a free version. Now, the free version is really powerful. It has tons of features. It will not have the same level of resources. Okay? That's the difference. What we call the premium version, and it is chock loaded full. At one point in time, you can decide if you want to pay for the year in advance. You have to do that when you pay the $1. You can say, yes, I'll pay the year in advance. And then you can do the $1 trial, say, I'll pay the year in advance. You get 2 months for free. And the benefit of that is then after the 14 days, you'll pay for the year in advance and you're good to go. If you choose to downgrade in the 14 days, you can still do that and say, nope, I want the free version. And then you can go back later and pay per month if you choose to do that. But I want to be clear about how that works. Here's how you sign up. You go to the Android or the iPhone store, right? On your phone, you go to the store and you type in RapidFunnel, okay? Just like it's spelled, RapidFunnel. You'll see this logo. When you download the app, you need to download the app. It will ask for a group code, and then it'll ask for your personal information. If you're a business, don't put in your business name because you're going to be reaching out to people at a very personal level, and we're automating a bunch of features. So when I reach out to you or I send you a resource, it automatically might say, hey, Dawn, this is Patrick. And I don't want to say, hey, Dawn, this is, 24 Club LYZ or whatever. I don't want to do that. I want it to be personal. All right. Create your account password, choose your account subscription, whether you pay the year or the monthly, always knowing in that 14 days or anytime you can lower the subscription rate. You can try it for a month and lower it next month, whatever you want to do there. All right. So, Dawn, you think I missed anything before we go back to actual making an exposure?
Something that is very common because RapidFunnel is like the #1 CRM with network marketing is there's a good chance you already have that app on your phone and you already have an account with another network marketing company. So if that's the case, it's going to say open it. And when it says open the app, instead of going to log in, if you look carefully, right next to log in, it will say new user. Click on new user, and that's where you're going to see group code. Because if you just log in, you're going to go into your other company's account and not see our account. And that happened a lot.
Yep, that's a really important detail. So thanks for making that point there, Dawn. So let's jump back and wrap up with actually making an exposure. You'll see in the bottom middle is that plus button. There's a person there, that little icon. And that icon in the bottom center is how I add a prospect. Now I can click the import button in the top right, and I can tap into my phone's database. One of the things that will happen for you when you first download the app is a wizard will pop up. And that wizard looks like this. And as soon as you're down putting all the information in, it'll say, click here to import contacts from your phone. And it will drive. Now think about this, not from your perspective, but from the perspective of the person you're getting started, that you're working with. And hopefully you're holding their hand through this process, just like we're doing with all of you right now. They're going to see this import button and you want to tell them, yeah, click the import button. Ideally, you're literally working with them on this. You're saying, hey, click on multiple contacts. That's right. Now on the next screen, select at least 5 contacts. And they're going to click here. It's the only option, or they can exit the wizard, obviously in the bottom left. But ideally, you're going to get them to click here. And then you're going to have them scroll through their contacts, and they're going to pick 5 contacts. Now, if I go to the app as an example, and I pick 2 contacts, and I click import, the app's going to warn me at the bottom, please select at least 3 more contacts. Right? It's the yellow brick road. We're getting the brand new person to make their first exposure. Does that make sense? That's the activity you want to get them in. Now, you have them put in the person's first and last phone number and email, probably by importing. I can add notes here. The notes are all searchable. So if there's a certain set of identifiers that maybe if they live in a certain state, there's lots of ways to label prospects. But one way is notes because they're searchable. Now, maybe I even hand my phone to somebody and I had them put their name in and they hand me the phone back. And now I want to hit the plus button there at the bottom because I want to rate them as a prospect. Now you might want to say, well, how would I rate them? Well, I might say in your business, I might say, hey, are they entrepreneurial? That's a 1 star. Are they money motivated? That's maybe 2 stars. Would I want to work with them? Are they optimistic? Right? So are they money motivated? Are they entrepreneurial? Are they positive? Do they have contacts and credibility? You guys come up with this, but come up with a star rating in your head. So when you rate your prospects, there's some reason you're rating them a certain way. And this is going to affect their score. Now, there might be some significant date, a birthday, something like that. And then I save the prospect. And now I've got in my prospects, that person is right here. And let's just say that prospect is Anthony Zimmerman. Now, Anthony currently has a score of 35. That's about as high a score as he can get because I rated him a 5-star prospect. So I've got Anthony in. I added notes about Anthony, and now I want to get busy and make an exposure. I want to share some information with Anthony. So I've got him in as a contact. That only took a couple minutes. I created a label. Do you see down there, kind of towards the top of the screen right here? See where it says label? He's a coach. I can create my own labels in the app. Why is labeling prospects important? Because from your dashboard, you can email people based on the labels. It's one of the features that'll come on once you have about 25 people in an email campaign. The feature will come on automatically that allows you to email people based on labels. So what if I have 50 people in my app who are veterans of the military? And then I have a great new resource that I want to share that I think is relevant to veterans. I could email all the veterans and say, hey, Sally, Dawn, Sue, Bill, Steve, whoever, right? I was thinking about you as a veteran and thought you would appreciate this next video, right? And boom, you hit send and it goes to all 25 people, personalized, and it speaks to them as a veteran. Guys, this is really powerful stuff when you understand how to use it. And it's things we should all be doing, but we don't build a database and we don't have constant contact and we don't have then a particular resource to send to them that already has a video framed inside of my page. Are you getting how all these pieces start working together? So let me stop here. Anthony, I'm going to hit send a resource. I want to go with the female voice for Anthony for whatever reason. I want to go to peak interest. And now I can send an invite for survey, pre-written text. Now, if I don't know what that is, I can literally click on the words, invite for survey, pre-written text, and look at that. It'll tell me what it is and how to use it. By using pre-written text, your link or survey will actually get delivered, and your service provider will not block your links from being delivered. Right? That's awesome. And specifically, what do we mean? Look, Verizon, Sprint, T-Mobile, AT&T, they're all blocking links with videos and those type of things. If you don't have two-way communication with your prospect, it will get blocked. So I click on this resource, and you see the three buttons that come up down below. It's very intuitive. Email, text, or social. I click on text message, and boom, I send this text message to my prospect. Hey, Anthony. I didn't have to type in Anthony. It's all automated. Hi, Anthony. I'm doing some market research. I'd love to get your feedback. If I sent you a 1-minute survey, would you let me know your thoughts? Now, I wait for Anthony to respond back and say yes. Why? Because I want two-way communication. If Anthony doesn't respond, I might send him a question mark. Hey, did you get my text? Right? So now what do? Well, I go back and now Anthony says yes. So I go back to send resource, opportunity, peak, and the blue buttons tell me actually what I sent and when I sent it to him, so I know. And now I want to send a 1-minute survey. And I click text because that's how he and I are communicating. And boom, I send a text message. And that text message has the 1-minute survey. And when my prospect clicks on that survey, check this out. I've got a survey. All the data comes back to me. I sent it to Anthony. He fills out the survey. It auto-filled all his personal information right down there in the bottom because I already had it. And look at the kind of questions I'm asking. And understand, I'm going to get these answers back. And now I'm going to know precisely how to follow up with Anthony. Now, guys, I can't do justice to all the incredible resources you guys have in the platform. I mean, the amount of work, there is literally $10,000 worth of marketing materials built into the platform, and it's all personalized to each one of you. Now, this is going to give me some real insight into the psychology of the person I'm talking to. I would want to know these things when I'm talking to somebody, and this is going to dictate how you follow up with the prospect. Is this making sense to you guys? Can you see how you can build a much bigger business much faster by leveraging the platform? And are you excited? So let me stop here for a second and show you. Now, once somebody has done these, sent these resources, but this sizzle video is framed inside of your capture page. So if they watch this video, their name will autofill if you put them in from contacts, or you can send it generically to some database maybe you already have, or you could post it to a digital marketing page. And then when they click the learn more button, that is going to take them to another video where they can learn more. And I tell you guys, I mean, your content is amazing. Like the flow of the content, the simplicity for a brand new person. Here's what I promise you. Download the app and start prospecting. You'll find it so fast and so intuitive to be able to build the business. That's what gets exciting. Let me be clear about cold market for a second. It's really important. We call this authentic sharing technology for a reason. Our emails, if you put a prospect into an email campaign, one of our email campaigns in the app, right? You add a contact, you send them an email campaign, they're going to get that opt-in email. Our email delivery rate is 99.7%. That's higher than many people's personal email. I mean, it's crazy. But here's the thing. You should not send it to people blind, because the email literally says, something about it was great connecting. It infers that you had a conversation. Now, have you ever got one of those emails from somebody that says, hey, I'm stuck in Tanzania and I need some cash. Could you help me out? Their email got hacked, right? I mean, that's what happened because you didn't talk to them. You didn't have a conversation. And that is our email. We will literally turn off the feature in your app if your opt-in rate gets too low or your spam rate gets too high, because it damages everybody's ability to deliver email. So authentic sharing technology means you can put as many people in a campaign as you want, but you need to have a conversation. And the conversation is as simple as, let's say I prospect somebody. I'm talking to somebody. I'm in an Uber. And I decide, this is a 2-star prospect. I'm probably not going to follow up with them. They don't seem money motivated. I'm not sure I'd even want to work with them. But you know what? I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to put them in an email campaign. You would say, hey, Joe, listen, it seems like the timing's not great, but would you like me to stay in touch with you via email? I'll send you some information once in a while that I think you might find interesting, and you might change your mind. And they go, oh, yeah, sure. That sounds great. Take Joe's name, his email address, hit send, and then say, Joe, I just sent your email. Check your phone. Do you see that? Click on that link and let's stay connected. That's how you do it. But don't take 10 emails and blindly send 10 people an email, because I can promise you it may not get you on the first 10, but by the next 10, they will list it as spam. Somebody will call it. Their opt-in rate will be terrible because they won't click on the link. And when your opt-in rate falls below that 10 or 15%, we're going to turn that one feature off on the app. Okay? So just be aware of that. Delivery of text. We won't turn that off ever because we're using your text to deliver, but your text will not go through sometimes if you're literally just sending videos out to everybody. Have some communication with people like you would in a normal relationship. So I needed to mention that. It's very important. If you want to send a resource via email on your phone, you can send it in any way you want. You can send that without, pre-contacting a person. I'm specifically talking about your opt-in rate on the campaign. So make sure you have a conversation before you put somebody into opt-in email in the campaign. That's really important. And your opt-in rate does matter there, because if your opt-in rate is too low, we'll turn off your ability to email people using labels. And you don't need to worry about that just yet. Just make sure if you put them in a campaign, you have conversation. If you're just sending resources via social, text, or your email, it doesn't matter, right? That's fine. So I hope there's a little bit of clarity there. There is a whole series of training videos under learn.rapidfunnel.com. I always want people comfortable that you know exactly what to do. You can go to the More button in the app in the bottom right-hand corner. You can go to the More button. And if you've put the $1 trial in, then you can go to Settings in the bottom left-hand corner, and you'll have a Billing tab here. And you can go to Billing, and you can downgrade to the standard version, okay? Now, again, the only difference is you won't have nearly as many features or resources, but you'll have a fully functional app, or at least 85% of the features will work in the app. So I hope that all makes sense.
Hey, really quickly, Patrick, can you click on that More button? There's a button there called Support. And we want you to utilize that whenever there's a snag, because I don't want any of the leaders to be fearful that they have to know this app inside and out. We want everyone to focus on recruiting and not becoming computer instructors. So RapidFunnel comes with support. Patrick, do you want to talk a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. We have a 24/7 chat, so you can literally click on that little green button in the bottom right. and you can reach out to chat support. Now, sometimes they do get overwhelmed. So, just if you catch them at a great time, great, but they will get back to you. And then you can always just create a support ticket and they'll get back very quickly with support tickets. And then there's frequently asked questions. But as Dawn said, as a leader building the business, do yourself a favor. Don't become the app specialist. Don't become the person that teaches people how to download apps because they have no memory on their phone. We have a support team to help you with that. That's the whole point. And this duplicates. If you're not technologically savvy, the last thing you want to be doing is trying to put your energy and time into learning how technology works or downloads on an app or if they have bad bandwidth. And people will tell you, well, this video didn't work and this one doesn't work, but they have no signal. And it's the kind of thing that will consume you, just because that's the nature of it sometimes. Leverage the support team. They're there to help you, right? And you focus on teaching people to prospect and follow up effectively. That's a great thing to do. Let me throw one idea out there. You get together with your team, right? You got 4 or 5 people and they're sitting around the table and they're talking about how they'd like to move faster. Well, you go to the app, you click the plus button, and you click on the wizard in the top right-hand corner. And then you say, hey, everybody, let's do this right now. Let's import 5 prospects. And literally the 5 people import 5 prospects, and they send out 25 surveys because 5 people times 5 exposures is 25. And you send out 25 surveys in a matter of 4 or 5 minutes, and 20 people respond. And now you get 10 of those to complete the survey. Do you guys see how powerful it can be from a duplication standpoint? I used to love to do things like that. And because that group of 5 people may be sitting around and they're like, well, the whole group's only made 10 exposures in a week or 2. And boom, just like that, with your help, that group made 25 exposures in 10 minutes. That's a game changer. At this point, I think we've covered a lot of ground. You've got to get into it and start driving it. Look, one of the things that allowed me to build one of the largest, a massive organization, was I focused on teaching people how to use this platform to prospect and follow up, right? I didn't teach people how to download apps. I taught people, I used support for that. I taught people to increase their prospecting, how they followed up. I taught them how to read a survey and then what to send next. Those are the things that you guys have to become really good at, and you will create massive momentum in your organization. My last thoughts are, guys, is just have a bias to action. That's the most important thing. Everything that we built in the platform is to drive simplicity. And that's the hallmark of great organizations, is they execute. And what you want to execute on is prospecting and follow-up. There is no question, right? I'm so excited about what you guys are doing, because I don't think there's an easier, more exciting story to tell for the average person. You guys are in a business that supports this extraordinary industry. You just got to get the word out. And this app will help you triple and quadruple your personal income, but you got to use it. It's the best investment you could possibly make in building your organization, but use it, drive it, and teach it. Dawn, I'm excited about what you guys are doing. It's just the beginning. The content is only going to get better as you sit back with your team and you guys start observing, well, what are the opt-in rates, open rates, play rates, engagement rates? You're going to make better and better content all the time. I can tell already, just from my short experience with Dawn, she's going to crush it. She's going to make the tools so powerful. Now you guys got to do your part.
Yeah. And I'm so excited to see what's going to happen. Like he said, just in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, I guarantee you that they're going to be standing at attention over at corporate wondering what's going on with our team. So really excited. Oh, one last thing I want to mention. There's going to be people that don't want to use this app, and that's okay. So please don't feel like you're pressured to use it, but make sure that you let your team know, because maybe you're not interested in it, but your team has been seeking something like this. And again, you don't have to know this, you don't have to do all the support, but just share it enough with your team, even if you don't want to be bothered with it, because it's going to put money in your pocket in the end. It's going to benefit us all. I think that's it. Okay, bye everyone.